Hey guys, Bob here. I want to share with you one more meeting that I want to make sure gets into your calendar, but this is one that maybe you get to dream and vision out a little bit more. And this is what we refer to as the quarterly goal review session. So I spent a lot of time getting ready for this, a lot of time thinking about new opportunities, new innovations, new areas to expand, new areas to focus, what ways we can continue to get better. And that's essentially the outline of what this meeting really is. This is where we as a leadership team come together, we review our goals, we review our long-term plans, we review what's been happening in our organization, and we come up with a plan of attack and new accountability measures to drive results in the next quarter. So I'm going to walk you through right now what this agenda looks like. So very first part of this is a welcome and agenda. So this is where we essentially have everybody getting comfortable in the day. You know, sometimes there's the pre-meeting jitters where people are just getting ready for the day and not necessarily understanding the exact outcome, or if they feel like they haven't maybe been accountable to some of their goals. People are a little bit nervous. We want to make sure that there's a great welcome, and then we outline the expectations of the day. We outline the agenda, and we get set up for a full day of success as a team. Our team tends to, from here, start out the session with a full team building exercise. In the past, we've had different areas where we build things together in individual groups. Maybe people get paired together that normally don't work together. So having a team building exercise to get it kicked off, it builds up the energy, builds up the enthusiasm to really set the day off in a positive way. Then this is where my favorite part happens. This is where we do the quarterly recap. We recognize how the company has grown. We recognize the quarterly overall results. We can see where it's heading. We're recognizing contributions and successes and wins and losses and understanding exactly who has done an incredible job on our team and how we can continue to build this together and create opportunity for the future, right? So creating the CEO partner update, but this is a really great opportunity to highlight some of the great successes that have happened within the organization. We then go back to our financial results and we say, what is our goal for the future? And this is where we start to build out a vision session and a strategy session. Let's go back to what our 10-year goals are. Let's dream out and say, where can we take our business in the next 10 years? And in order to get to that 10-year goal, what does the 3-year path look like? We have to pass through the 3 years to get to 10. And then to get to that 3-year mark, what are our goals in the next 12 months that we need to outline and the path that we need to follow in order to stay on track to those long-term goals? With that, we start into the strategy session. We review some of the business goals against the current strategies to make sure that everything's aligned. Again, looking at human capital, marketing, client experience, company values, and strategic position. We then move it down into departmental presentations. So as part of preparing for this, again, me as the CEO, I'm preparing for this in setting out expectations and goals and objectives for the company in the long run. What I need from people is to come into this meeting and this session talking about their individual department, talking about how they're going to continue to grow, how they're going to continue to increase the client experience, how they're going to develop more efficiency and use better resources to, again, help that department grow and be more financially successful towards the overall team picture. After we go through these departmental presentations, we then review the scorecard, right? The scorecard has been part of our weekly leadership meeting every single week. And what we want to have on here is 3 to 7 critical drivers and SMART goals that we can essentially measure every single week to make sure our individual department stays on track. What we want to do in this session is, after the departments have presented, to say, this is where we're heading, this is what we've done well, this has maybe been some of our challenges, here's our opportunity, this is what we want to introduce going forward, this is how we improve our client experience. We go, okay, that's great. How does that impact your scorecard? How does that revise your SMART goal? As part of this, we're really focusing on getting that scorecard right, because that's going to lead into every single week in our leadership meeting. But we then talk about, the next steps, recapping all of our discussions, all of the strategy. We talk about how we continue to collaborate and work together in a synergistic way where we can utilize each other's skills, where we can continue to work together, support each other to drive an incredible company and incredible performance financially, culturally, and from a contribution standpoint to our community, right? All of these things, how can we continue to use all of the discussions during the day to build what we all want to be part of, because it's an extraordinary experience to build something incredible together. And the last step here is concluding the event. Again, thanking everybody for all their contributions, for being vulnerable, for letting us reflect on some of the success and failures. It's not an easy session, but let me tell you, everybody walks out feeling confident and optimistic about the future of the organization and how they contribute to the overall success of the team. Now, one of the things we talk about on conclusion is getting ready for the relay. Now, what the relay means is we now take it from our leadership team and we relay the results of this meeting to the entire team, right? We give a quick recap to them to make sure that everybody's on the same page, understanding where we're going and where we're heading as an organization. It reignites them for being part of an organization that's future focused, and it provides them with maybe some insight of what the future opportunity holds for them down the road. So as part of this relay, what we're going to do, again, as part of the conclusion, we're going to have everybody understand what their portion of this relay presentation is going to be. We want to make sure that all of those departmental presentations, after they've been finalized and we've revised maybe some of the critical drivers, that each department gets an opportunity to share where they're heading, not only for their departmentees, but for the overall contributors to the organization's success. So every department's going to get the opportunity to speak to their departmental goals, where they're heading in the future, and what they're going to be held accountable to. And then as the CEO, I run the relay session, kick it off, talk about where the company is headed. Again, a little bit of the CEO partner update, and then every individual talks about the department presentations, the revision, where we're going, where we're heading, and why everybody should be really excited about the opportunity that lies ahead. Okay, so the very first document that we want to send out to our team leading into this one-day quarterly review event is talking about some of the initiatives, the processes, and maybe some comparisons that we want to look at to bring in new ideas to our organization. So this is sent out to every individual, and I'm going to pull the document up in a second. This is sent out to every individual on the leadership team, and it's advised that everybody has to spend some time thinking about this and bring this preparation towards or into this one-day session. So the very first thing we want to talk about is new initiatives that you feel the business should consider, right? Looking at different ways that maybe we can add value to our customers, new initiatives that maybe improve the customer success or increase the outcome of the client journey, right? And then we jump into processes. Are there current processes or systems that need to be improved? Are there softwares that you're aware of? Are there better documentation of our systems? Are there different efficiencies that we can create? Is there a better optimization or synergistic way that we can approach delivering outcomes to our clients? So we want every single leader on our team to make sure that we're talking about some of the initiatives that we feel we could consider and how we could maybe better deliver those. And the third element here is to pick at least one thing that another company is doing that you admire and think we should consider. This could be an industry-specific trend, tech trend, or operational practice. So this is really a way to say, yes, we are looking at other organizations and what is it that they're really doing well, and how can we maybe adapt some of their processes or some of their innovative solutions into what we do. Send this out to your team prior to the event, maybe a week before. Let them think about it. Let them come up with initiatives. Let them come up with innovative processes, and let's let them admire and reflect on some of the organizations that maybe they've dealt with who've created a really great experience for their customers and how we can adapt that into our business. So the next document I want to pull up, again, we want to send this out to our leadership team a week before the event, our one-day event. And we want them to look at this as a departmental review and as an overall company review. So some of the areas, and I'll pull this up now for you, that we want to touch on is growth. What are the opportunities for team growth? What are the requirements for resources inside each individual department? If we're on a growth trend at 20% per month or per year, whatever that looks like, how many resources do we have to have in place to make sure that we deliver what we promise we can? What resources does each department require? Maybe that's human capital, maybe that's computers, maybe that's new innovation, new software, new products, new services, new desks, whatever it is. We want to know that each individual department is coming to the table to say, this is where we're heading, and these are the resources that we need. Again, it's a discussion point. It doesn't mean that they're necessarily getting every single thing they ask for, but it's an opportunity to put it out there to say, if you want us to deliver what we know we can, these are the resources we're going to need. What are your goals for your department in the next 6 months? Does that mean increased efficiency? Does that mean improved culture? Does that mean increased delivery, more efficiency in how we deliver, a more systemized presentation, a better onboarding process? Whatever that looks like, whatever that growth potentially looks like, whatever the team training maybe looks like, this is where we want to identify what the goals are for the department in the next 6 months. Strengths and opportunities for each individual department, looking at it and saying, this is what we're really good at, this is an opportunity for us to be better at, or this is an opportunity for us to use our strengths to create opportunity for the organization in this way. Challenges, outlining challenges your team is experiencing. Is it turnover? Is it cultural issues? Is it inefficiency? Is it lack of experience? Is it too many opinions? Is it lack of resources? Whatever it is, we want to identify the challenges so that we can look at how we can correct them heading into the future. Some of the solutions, so again, you've got challenges, you've got strengths, you've got opportunities. What are some of the solutions that we can put in place to make sure that our organization is set up after this day? We assess this together and we make sure that we're working collaboratively and synergistically towards creating a better future for our business. We want solutions. We don't want complaints. We want a solutions-based approach to how we make each individual department stronger. So the last document we want to make sure gets sent out to your leadership team a week before your quarterly event is the quarterly goal review. So again, everybody has got their scoreboard or their scorecard in place. Every single week as part of our leadership meeting, we review the 3 to 7 critical drivers and the key SMART goals that we have in place that everyone needs to be held accountable for. What we want to do then is move towards what do we need to change, where are we heading, right? Anything from the last document that talked about goals, opportunities, solutions to driving this particular department forward. What we want to do in this case is now reflect back to those critical drivers and those SMART goals and update them. So in this particular document, I'll just pull it up here now, we can look at what the new metrics should be. Are there metrics now that exist that maybe didn't exist before? Do we need to introduce another critical driver and maybe eliminate another one? How do we make these more relevant and more realistic and attainable for the team so that these goals and these critical drivers can be driven into future success? So we want to make sure that every quarter we're revising these and making sure they're very relevant for the team and each individual department. So the second piece is talking about goal updates. Again, what metrics need to be updated, what need to be eliminated, what need to be created. We essentially just want to make sure that when we come out of this day that we're again fully engaged in understanding what these actionable items are, what these critical drivers are, what these SMART goals are, so that we can continue to hold each other accountable to achieving great things as an organization. So this is the opportunity, this is the document that says what are the new metrics that we should be considering and what ones need to be updated, what metrics need to be updated to make them more relevant now. Is it that our sales are going to double and we need 2 sales closed a day to 4 sales closed a day? What does that look like? Let's update those numbers and make sure that when we leave this meeting, these are all agreed upon and everybody feels like they're attainable and they're realistic. One more time, they can be measured and that everybody is on the same page towards achieving these goals. The last document that we want to send out, now this one we don't want to send out a week before. This is one that we can have as a handout for when the leadership team shows up in the morning. This is an outline again for the day, understanding one more time how we continue to build on some of the energy and enthusiasm and accomplish the goals of what we have, not only for the day, but for the long term of the organization. So I'll pull up the idea tracker. Now this one should be in front of everybody or sitting in a position where they would be sitting when they show up in the morning. So what we want them to do right out of the gates is fill this out and answer these questions. And what we want to do actually is we want to have everybody fill this out, maybe take 10 minutes, and then we want everybody to share what it is that they're hoping for to get out of today. Looking at this again, what was your hope to start out the day? Let's share that. Let's use the rest of this document as a form to fill out through the rest of the day. So everybody has a one-page document that they can use as a takeaway to not only investigate and suggest other solutions for how we do this event better, but talk about some of the highlights and take away some key action items so that we can implement great things into our business after the day's over.
Thank you for watching the video. To get access to the worksheet that we included in this session, click on the description below and download the document. This is a document that we use to help individuals plan out how to accomplish their $1 million year, and we want you to have access to it. Hey there, thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, make sure you like it, you leave a comment, share it with a friend, and make sure you hit subscribe to catch more videos just like this. And for all you ambitious entrepreneurs who are looking to start scaling your business immediately, make sure you check out the resources that we've included in the description below. We've got a link to download your digital copy of my best-selling book, The Wealthy Entrepreneur. That will give you so many tips and guidelines on how to scale your business starting now. And last, but definitely not least, if you're excited and ready to get started today, there's a link to book a session with our growth mindset expert to start achieving your $1 million year starting now. Remember, being a business owner isn't easy and not everybody understands it. But in the right community with the right strategy, you can accomplish your $1 million year and achieve financial freedom starting now.